Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The Americans won't leave, man. Won't leave. Why? Because Syria still has oil. Therefore, they're occupying the rich oil fields of Syria. I'm talking about the illegal U.S. military occupation of the territory of an independent sovereign country. So when they point a finger at Russia in Ukraine, which is bad, I think this is even worse because they pretend to be in the good and nobody says anything. At least on the other side, they point the fingers. Hey, wait, Russia invaded sovereign independent country unprovoked, blah, 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 blah. But here, nobody says anything. But the Russians and the evil people. The good people, nothing to see here. So we have here dozens of rockets rained down on US-occupied Syrian oil field in biggest single strike since October. So again, the Iranian-backed militias and terrorist groups attack the good forces of the US, sucking the Syrian oil from Syrian fields in a Syrian territory. So let me show you, I have about 3 maps here, not about, I have 3 maps. So, and an article. The maps obviously are intended to show me first and you exactly when that occurred, because I had difficulties, to be honest with you, finding this place, even though I knew it was in the northeast of Syria and the border with Iraq. That's where the transfer of the looted oil occurs, because that's what we do. They do. So let's go to the first article first. Sputnik, 3 hours ago, today on the 8th, Monday, of January 2024. Dozens of rockets rained down on US-occupied Syrian oil field in biggest single strike since October. So here they show us some map here. We're not going to go over it. It's just they saw the explosions, I guess. Can't read Russian or the Cyrillic alphabet, but I will show you maps based on the names provided by this article. Militant dramatically ramped up attacks on US bases in Iraq and northeastern Syria last fall in response to America's unshakable support for Israel in the conflict in Gaza. Drone, rocket, artillery, and missile attacks have targeted US forces over 115 times to date, killing at least one contractor. Remember Wagner Group? There were private military contractors, and they were called terrorists, and they were called mercenaries, and they were called all that. But he's contractor. The Blackwater that changed its name, it's still a contractor company, not a mercenary. Don't even dare. And injuring dozens of troops. Militants fired at least 30 rockets at the US base in Al-Omar, eastern Deir ez-Zor province, Syria on Monday morning. So let's see where this Al-Omar is in eastern Deir ez-Zor province. I had a big problem to find it. Eventually I found it here from an article. And let me take my melon out. Ram pam pam. Right here is Omar. Right, Omar. And it's northeast of Al-Mayadin. That's all the map I had on this one. And then we can go nicely to another map right here, and this is Al-Mayadin right here. So that should be around this area. This is Iraq, and the crossing is right here. So Dair el-Zar, and Dair el-Zar, I think, has to do with Deir el-Zar right here. It's different, find them different names and tralalala. So let's go back to, let's see where I got it, right here. So this is the area where the attack occurred by Iraq border. I'm going to show you another map. So this is a bigger picture of this, where Syria, how is Syria located? This is where the Americans are getting the oil with the Kurds right here in the north that Turkey has problems with in this area. So now we have this. We have another map which shows us right here on the east of Syria, Abu Kamal or Al-Bakamal and Al-Qaim. Remember these two names because I want to use them right here, these two right here. This is the crossing. What the hell? Okay, this is the crossing where the road that the oil gets out of Syria, with the help of the Americans, obviously, because they are operating that. And here you have the base is right here, across from Mazabarin, Pakarin, what's the name of that? Al Mayadin. Is that how it is? So Al Mayadin, this were somewhere, and this go this way. Got that? Omar Al Mayadin. This is Al Mayadin here. This is it, and this is the crossing. And here I am, rocking like a hurricane. All right, so the rocket barrage appears to be the biggest single military attack against US forces in the Middle Eastern nation since October 2023 escalation, and was reportedly carried out in retaliation to a recent American attack targeting a truck, presumably belonging to militants. It's just because the Pentagon tells you so, doesn't make it true, at the Al-Qaim al-Bukamal border crossing between Iraq and Syria. Al-Omar is Syria's largest oil field. It's one of several major energy-rich areas illegally, thank you, that's the right word, occupied by US forces in the country's northeast, with American troops and their Kurdish Syrian democratic, they put over there just because. It doesn't make you a Democrat if you just put in a name, but whatever. Allies regularly extracting, they're not allies, they're just vassal people used by US for their own interest. Regularly attracting oil wealth and smuggling it into neighboring Iraq in convoys of tankers. Local media reported these direct casualties from Monday's rocket strike at the oil field, but US Central Command and Operation Inherent Resolve. Jesus. These guys are like infantile. I've never seen, I don't know, say never, but most of the names of the operations these guys put attached to their operation is like, I don't know, like Operation Enduring Freedom or something. So endure freedom, or garbage like this, or Desert Storm, Operation Inherent Resolve. Did you hear that coalition, click, in the Red Sea? The Americans tried to put something like, I can't remember, something like your, I will look for it, but in the meantime, let's go to the article. I can't remember right now with that name. Something like your living or standard of living, but not profit. Anyway, I will remember. Let me look for it, God damn it. Here it is. Oh, fuck. Operation Prosperity Guardian. Jesus Christ, man. These guys are clowns. And now it's Operation Inherent Resolve. Revolve? The Pentagon's official name for its counterterrorism mission in Syria, have yet to comment on the attack at the time of writing. Separately, on Monday, Lebanese media reported a drone attack on a U.S. base at Rmelan in Hasakah province in Syria's northeast. Oh my. And that is right here, Al-Hasakah. So they northeast. The Lebanese media, wasn't that what it was? Lebanese media reported a drone attack on a U.S. base in Rmelan in Hasakah province. Where is that? Right here. Okay, let's go here. A day earlier, local media reported a military drone attack against U.S. troops in Hasakah Kwarsrak base, as well as the El Assad air base in Iraq. But they won't go. It's like Putin said in one of his interviews, these guys are like an old whore that keeps coming back. You're not going to get rid of her. But anyway, most of the 100 plus drone, missile and rocket artillery attacks against US forces in Syria and Iraq have been carried out by militia coalition, calling itself the Iraqi resistance, believes Kataib Hezbollah, a powerful Iraq Shia militia which is played tap, not to be confused with Lebanon Hezbollah movement. Iraq's Kataib Hezbollah turned its guns on US forces after they refused to leave the region following This guy's defeat. This is ISIS right here, but that's how they call it, the Russians. And probably at the bottom of this article they explain that. And ramped up attacks after PMF Deputy Commander and Kataib Hezbollah Secretary General Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis was killed in a U.S. drone attack in Baghdad alongside IRGC Quds Force Commander Soleimani. Okay, Syria has repeatedly demanded that U.S. forces, Syria, that is the legitimate government of Syria, not just some jerk-offs, demanded that U.S. forces and their illegal occupation of the war-torn nation's oil and food-rich northeastern territories in Iraq. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani announced last Friday, I covered that in one of my videos, that a joint Iraqi-U.S. committee has begun the process of scheduling the withdrawal of the U.S.-led coalition from the country. I don't think that will happen. I think this guy, the prime minister, will either change his mind, will get the hint, or is going to be moved, removed, yeah, maybe moved to see Allah or whomever. Iraq's parliament has originally demanded the removal of U.S. forces from the country in 2020. So, do you have the muscle? No, get the hell out of here. Shortly after the al-Muhandis and Soleimani's killing, but Washington dragged its feet, instead renaming its combat mission in the country to an advise and assist that we don't need. Okay, you're in my house, but I don't want you here, but you're gonna stay and make sure I'm safe. Fuck off. Now, the Iraqi government appears to be restating its demands, citing the violation of existing agreements. What are you talking about? Yeah, the winners write history. So, yeah, okay, this is a commitment that the government will not back down from. You'll see. And we will not neglect anything that would complete national sovereignty over Iraq's land, sky, and waters. Okay, that's nice. And here is what I told you about that name, a group outlawed in Russia and many other countries. All right, my friends, so they won't go. You know that song, please don't go, please don't go. No, it's not gonna go. I'd rather stay. Why don't you stay tonight? What's that? That Christmas song. But I'd rather go, but please stay. I can't remember the name of the song. Anyway, please don't go, please don't go. That stays. It was an idiotic song. Idiocracy stays in people's brain more than good things, it seems like. All right, here, my friends, we have these guys attacked again with dozens of rockets. And this is not the government of Syria, probably maybe sponsored by those guys. But why don't you go? Why don't you go? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.